But just a little while ago, I spoke with Trump-Pence Presidential Transition Team Senior Communications Advisor Sean Spicer. So, Sean, President Obama yesterday was talking to NPR, and he had said that he was considering retaliatory moves against Russia, given the hacking and what we know. Tell me, he actually said, I think there's no doubt when any foreign government tries to impact the integrity of our elections, we need to take action, and we will. And the next line was, at a time and a place of our choosing, some may be explicit and publicized, some of it may not be. Now, Sean, does President-elect Donald Trump want President Obama, with 35 days left in his term, to get involved with Russia in any way, shape, or form?
I think President-elect Trump recognizes that there's one president at a time. President Obama has 30-some-odd days left in his term, and on January 20th, this country will have a new president. Real change will come. While President Obama is president, he has the right to do what he thinks is in the country's best interest, and when President-elect Trump becomes President Trump on January 20th, I think whether it's our foreign policy or our domestic policy, you're going to see real change come to Washington in this country.
Right, but does he want President Obama to step aside, let him take care of it in 35 days, or is he willing to deal with whatever Obama decides to do right now?
Well, I think the problem that we have right now, Eric, is this, that we hear a lot of sources that say the following happened or didn't happen. On November 17th, the Director of National Intelligence, James Clapper, spoke to the House Intelligence Committee, and at that time, he said that they had no conclusive proof that the WikiLeaks and the other revelations were conclusively tied to Russia. Now, if President Obama does have that information and the intelligence conclusively points to it, then he needs to make decisions that are based in the country's best interest. But I think that one of the things that the media keeps conflating is an attempt to say if Russia or other entities are probing, different sites, which is what you get all the time, these so-called phishing exercises, where they send emails and try to find ways to break through different accounts into data. That's one thing. But there is zero proof that they had any impact on the election in terms of the outcome. And I think that what's happening now is an attempt by folks on the left and some folks in the media, frankly, to delegitimize the huge win that Donald Trump had. And I think that it's sad because if you think about where we were 38 days ago prior to the election, it was the administration and others in the media saying that we need to have absolute integrity in our election, and anyone who questions it should be, shouldn't be taken seriously because we have so many voting systems. There's no way that you could compromise the integrity of our election. So
I find it curious that President Obama today said that, yeah, he knew that we had intel that they were hacking, yet he chose yesterday to say, in his words, we will take action.
Well, and I think that if we do, but one of the things that's really gotten lost in this, and again, I want to make it very clear to everyone watching, any foreign entity or any entity that seeks to undermine or interfere in a U.S. election should be stopped. Full stop, no question about it. But if you look at what happened, it was Hillary Clinton who had a secret server that wasn't in accordance with government regulations. It was the DNC that didn't keep up with their technology security measures that's been reported. It was John Podesta and Hillary Clinton, and Jennifer Palmieri and Nina Teerden and David Brock that wrote the things that got out. And it was the mainstream media that covered it. This is not Donald Trump's fault. This is not the Republicans' fault. They brought this scandal to their doorstep, and now they are trying to do everything they can to deflect from what they brought to themselves.
Okay, Sean, you've been floated as a possible next press secretary. Have you been asked?
No, I haven't.
How will President-elect Donald Trump and President Donald Trump's relationship with the media evolve? What do you expect going forward with that relationship?
Well, I think that it's a two-way street. For so long, the media has held politicians captive because most politicians, frankly, need the outlet. They need the media to communicate a message. Donald Trump has shown that he, more effectively than, frankly, anybody else, celebrity, politician, you name it, can effectively get out a message to the American people and have a two-way dialogue with them in a way that no one ever has in our history. And I think that it scares the media, frankly. Now, he understands that the media is a very healthy part of our democracy. They need to be part of the process. But that he doesn't need them in the same way that everybody else has, I think, frankly, worries them a bit.
Yeah, and so will he, therefore, restructure access that the media has to the presidency?
No. Look, he is unbelievably transparent. There's a camera, for goodness sake, in Trump Tower that shows everybody going up and down. We've allowed press to have access. They're in a pool that follows him now. He understands that they're a healthy part of the democracy. But I think that he also has the ability to speak directly to the American people like no one else has.
So there's a thing called the Trump way, and we talked about it, and you've done things differently, and frankly, you've won doing things differently. How do you think the relationship with the media should change? In what way? Should Donald Trump, President Donald Trump, be tweeting?
Well, of course he should be, and it's been effective. I think people don't like it sometimes because he does have this direct line to the American people, and he, frankly, in a lot of cases, is able to bypass the mainstream media. But to your first question, I think that one of the things that he realizes is that he has this dialogue with the American people, and he wants to expand it, whether it's through Facebook Live or Twitter. He has a way to have a back-and-forth dialogue with the American people. That is something very, very unique to him, and it's something that he's going to continue to do. But he will continue to and then, frankly, the other thing is that I think the mainstream media has had a stranglehold on a lot of stuff, and I think that we've seen conservative media play a much bigger role, and they should be brought into this process a lot more as well.
All right. I would thank you very much, Sean Spicer. We appreciate your time. And by the way, Donald Trump having 30 million Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram followers, boy, that's some access that he has to the American public. Leave it right there, Sean. Thank you.
Thanks, Eric.